Welcome back to another tutorial, everyone, and today we're going to talk about eyes. Let me just say up front that this is going to be the first part of what will probably be several parts about eyes, because eyes are a very tricky subject, and I can only say so much in 3 minutes. Everybody draws eyes. They're the first thing that we look at in any work of art, particularly something with a human subject, and as a result, most eyes tend to have this very symbolic, iconographic look to them. How often have you seen something like this, where it's more of a symbol for an eye? And yes, absolutely, this communicates the idea of an eye to the viewer, but it does not look necessarily like a realistic eyeball existing in space. As artists, as illustrators, we owe it to ourselves to go a step further than all this. So where those symbolic eyes become problematic is in the context of a face, where we've got this collection of nested symbols that, yes, it resembles a face to us, but it's only to communicate very vaguely this idea. It doesn't look like a realistic face. So don't forget this idea of the eye as an eyeball. Think of it as a sphere. The parts of it are going to be the pupil, the iris, and the sclera, being the center, the colorful part, and the white of the eye, respectively. Pupils will dilate based off of a number of factors, whether dark or bright light, whether relaxed or stressed, so the pupil can be very expressive of emotion or state of being. And I've been drawing eyes as circles intentionally for a reason here, and this is to make room for this idea of the eyelid, which is going to be this thick membrane of skin that wraps around the eye and ultimately gives it the almond shape that is present in the more iconographic representations of the eye that we've seen up to now. This is an excellent thing to practice in your eyes, is just creating a ball like this and then creating something that wraps around it to give you that idea of a spherical nature to the eyeball before you go and put it into the skull. So you don't get something like you see on the left, and you get something more like what you see on the right, which is going to be more inset and looks more like it exists in actual space and not a 2D representation as we see on the left. This is perhaps better expressed from a side view where we can actually see that V-shaped cleft, that inset of the eye coming back from the brow ridge behind the nose, and you can see that spherical shape as it exists there. So to recap, everybody draws eyes to some extent, whether an artist or not. And understanding how to make your eyes look installed in a skull makes a huge difference between a realistic eye and a symbol for an eye. Practice, practice, practice. Work general to specific, have fun, and I'll be back soon with another eye tutorial.